It found me grieving, living on my own, thinking of you, thinking of you. In the sand, by Rainbow River, my love did shiver, till the fire and I warmed her again. I want you again, and I need all through the night. I'll hold back the winter, Indian summer. I'm not sure if I can take the snow. In mid-December, I can't help but wonder, how will I last till the coldness goes? Baby, I miss you all through the day. I'll hold back the winter, Indian summer. I'm not sure if I can take the snow. In mid-December, I can't help but wonder, how will I ever last till the coldness goes? You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you. Ah, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you. To love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you. To love somebody, to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you.
So pretty, guys. I love that song.
Thank you.
Love the music of Brewer and Shipley. I have for a long time. I was sitting there while you were doing that song, thinking back in the 1970s, about 1976, my band and I were traveling on tour and been gone from home forever and lonesome and sick of the road, and played a couple of three-night gig in Rolla, Missouri, and met you guys, and you had me out to your house for some home cooking and playing in the creek. Your farm out there had a creek run right through it, and some good home cooking and some good fellowship and picking, some music picking. Never forgot that. That was one of those good times that those little jewels that you find on the road every now and then.
One of
that
those
you
rare
remember.
days out of 100 that
That's
you
right.
actually like being someplace,
That's right.
you know.
And I never have forgotten you guys' hospitality and warmth and the good music that we shared that day. Meant a lot to me. And,
that was a good
and I
time.
want to share you with Americana viewers on Heart to Heart. And
We sure appreciate that.
yeah, tell me the origins of Brewer and Shipley, how the team got together.
Back back before the dinosaurs, we were singing coffee houses. Back in the 60s, it was wonderful because, like, you wonder how guys get started these days. Back in the 60s, there were coffee houses all over the country, and a couple of guys, like anybody that played and sang, could at least get up on open stage night.
Who were you playing with back then? Who was touring
David Crosby, everybody from David Crosby to
Stephen
Jackson
Stills,
Brown to
just, yeah.
Steve Martin.
Everybody you know today.
Yeah.
You
know,
could
was
go
playing
on
coffee houses.
Tuesday night, you could go down to the Paradox in Orange County and see for free these people that could not get arrested, could not get any work. It was Steve Martin, Pat Paulson, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Jackson Brown, who was 16, I think, at the time, Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies, and they'd all be there, you know, Michael and I and whatever, and a few other folks, Monday night for free, and these are people that couldn't get any jobs in
Not
L.A.
even for free. At the Troubadour in L.A.,
Yeah.
you had to pay your $1 to get in. And then if you got to play, you got your $1 back. You know, it was all the people talking.
Felt like you were getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Breaking even.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was a good time. There was a lot of music happening backstage. You did a
So
lot
in
of
California,
Yeah.
California's where you met?
No, Midwest,
Actually, we met in Ohio, Kent, Ohio. Clubs some friends of ours had, and we played a lot of the same clubs on the folk circuit from New York to California, and had mutual friends and so forth. But we got together in L.A. That's why we named our first album "Down in L.A." and got the heck out of there.
Let him stay down.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what led up to the first big. 10 years before you had your first big hit?
Well,
we
we
had one
three
toke over
albums.
the line?
3 albums.
3 albums.
Yeah,
in-
started right
third
Three
album.
albums into career, you had one toke over the line.
Our
Well,
first
it's-
album was pretty much a bunch of demos, more or less.
We were songwriters
yeah.
for A&M Records, and excuse me, and they said, well, why don't you guys do it? We kind of had a sound and a style all our own, so that's how our first album came about. And it was entitled Down in L.A., and we did get out of there, and then we ended up in Kansas City, Missouri, started...
My hometown, that's where I was
Is that
born.
right?
Yeah.
Born in Kansas City, although I left there at an early age and came to the
Still a
Ozarks.
good town, still
Yeah,
my
good
favorite city in the
music town,
whole...
always,
It is.
always been a
Real
good
arts
music
conscious
town.
city. But anyway, we ended up in KC and started a management production company with some friends called Good Karma Productions. And this is right out of the 60s, about 69 in fact. And changed labels, went to the East Coast and recorded an album entitled Weeds. That
West
came
Coast.
I mean,
You've lost,
that's
your,
right.
you've lost your sense of
no,
direction.
the
in your
label,
old
the
age,
label
like-
was on the East Coast. We recorded it on the West Coast. But we had kind of an FM hit. FM music at the time was like hip, you know,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Underground.
Underground music,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was an underground hit for us. And then the next album, Tarkio, was the one containing One Toke Over the Line, and that's when we finally got a hit.
Tarkio was named after Tarkio, Missouri.
Tarkio, Missouri.
Northern Missouri.
Right. We used to have to travel up through there playing schools in Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa, and we always had to go the same highway through Tarkio, Missouri. But in those days, it really was Easy Rider time. And you had to really pick and choose where you stopped to eat or anything, because
Y'all
people didn't
traveling?
like us. We were hippies.
Yeah, well, these poor folks, you know, they'd be sitting back there in middle America, and all they'd seen was, you know, they'd seen a lot of television, and they were just living in this little small town like Tarkio, having lunch at a diner. And it would come Michael and I, straight from California. We'd been living for a couple of years, hair out to here, and I'm sure they were just
I had hair.
scared to death, you know. We came with beads flying all over the place. We just wanted to have lunch and prayed that nobody, you know, punched us out or whatever. And
Sometimes they did.
I'm sure they thought we were just going to kill them on the spot. So.
That's why we named it Tarkio Road. We just nicknamed that
Yeah.
highway Tarkio Road.
It's funny, you know.